So like I said in the last video, all we're going to do in this video is set up and install Visual Studio, and then we're also going to go ahead and write the hello world and talk a little bit about entry points and things like that just to get you started. So not wasting any time, jumping into it. Start off with, I'm going to assume you already have Python installed, but we need to install Visual Studio. So if you Google Visual Studio download, you should be able to arrive at this page, and we're going to use the community free download for 2019. Once you have actually ran that, you will need to add, let me see, since mine's already installed, I could show you though what options you're going to need, which is going to be the desktop development for C++. So it should be the same dialog you see, and the one that we're going to need is desktop development with C++. And once you've installed that, you should be good to go. So the first step, we're just going to create the most basic hello world C++ program. We're going to open Visual Studio. And like I said in the initial video, we are not going to use Microsoft's build system. We are going to use CMake, which is cross-platform and can actually be used as the project file in Visual Studio as of 2019, maybe 2017, but 2019 for sure. So we'll go to create a new project, and you'll have to look for it, but it should say CMake project. Mine's in recently used one, so I'm just going to use that. Now when you hit next, we're going to name the project. I'm going to name it tutorial series. And I typically put most of my development work in C Dev. And then we're going to select place, solution, and project in the same directory. And from there, we're just going to create it. Now, there will be a bunch of junk we're going to clean up just to simplify things. That basically they pre-populate. So we're going to delete this header file, .h. We're going to rename tutorial series to main. And inside of CMake list, we are going to just put main.cpp. And I'm actually going to go ahead and clean up some of these comments. And that's it. Now in main.cpp, we're going to kind of start fresh here, and we're going to do include iostream. And see out hello world. Now to run this, you can go up here and find your actual target, which in this case is tutorial series, and then you can just run. Now this will build it and execute it, and you should get something like this. Now just to make sure that our window doesn't close, we are going to actually go ahead and pause it. Okay, so all right, let's compare this to Python. The exact same program in Python would look something like this. Now, there's a few things to notice when comparing these two. For one, the entry point. With Python, there's no explicit entry point. It is the actual script being ran. This is where it starts, runs, and executes any command you have. With C++, that's not how it works. There has to be an entry point, and that is the function called main. Every C++ application has to have this, and we'll get into function signatures and how functions work pretty soon, but for the most part, all you need to know is that it needs to look like this. It needs to return an int, be called main, and that's about it. The other thing to notice is with Python, statements are separated by lines. If you want to add another one, let's see, if you want to say print another, another statement, I'll say that. Another statement. That's it. And there you go. With C++, statements are not separated by lines. They're separated by semicolons. So lines, C++ doesn't know about lines. So if you were to run that, say build, and I'm gonna just open this up so I can get my button back. There you go. But like I said, the lines don't matter. I could put these on the same line. Tabs also don't matter. I could put this here. And same result. And that's one thing a lot of people complain about moving from C++ to Python is how strict they are with not only spaces but tabs. You know, you get a syntax error if instead of 4 spaces you have 3 versus C++. That's not an issue. And there you go. We've written our first Hello World and talked a little bit about, you know, small differences with the entry points, with the, you know, semicolons, just some basic stuff. But in the next video, we're going to actually go a little bit into the difference in statically typed versus Python's dynamically typed or duck typed. We're going to go into all that. So if you like this video, please give us a like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.